Welcome back.
This is definitely
We're going to examine all of Life is Strange's Kate section. We've already saved her life, so now we're going to talk to her in person for a while.
so glad I get to see
This is a fairly small event because it's optional. It's also clear that this was slapped together far more quickly than the rest of the game. There is a lot of animation popping that happens on the faces, and a lot of the blocking is really awkward. And you'll see what I mean as we go in.
And you saved her.
There is Chloe apologizing for the dumb plot point where we had to choose between accepting a call from a suicidal girl that had gone through the exact same thing as Chloe, or just running off with Chloe.
We're all on the same team.
Team Max. Let Kate know we're gonna string Nathan up by his balls then.
Either way, now that's nicely resolved. It was good to get a call back to that and have her admit that she was in the wrong. Even though it wasn't her that was in the wrong, it was the author. So if you take a look at their faces while they're talking, you're going to see a lot of popping. In addition, Kate's facial expressions just look flat out creepy, especially with the kind of blocking that they do, where they get really close up and they stare straight at you.
I'm so sorry.
Kate, listen to me.
In some respects it works, because Kate has always been a fairly awkward girl, and I'm pretty much her only friend, so it makes sense that she might be a little bit intense and awkward.
You look awesome. Is it a stupid question if I ask how you're doing?
Now that you're here, I'm doing even better. I'm so grateful to you for coming up to the roof to talk me down.
So when you do just a little bit of blocking and then you freeze the characters in a really specific position like this, where they're face to face gripping each other's upper arms, that doesn't work, because the point of moving your characters is to highlight how the conversation is progressing. And in this case, we're not getting that. Instead, we're getting stuck in one particular gear. It's sort of like trying to shift gears without ever using the clutch. All you really got out of is a grinding noise.
It got kind of dark there for a while, but I have an idea for a new
Still, now that
challenge
we've gotten back out to a medium distance, and the blocking is no longer staring straight into each other's eyes at 3 inches unflinchingly, it starts to pick up, and it feels pretty good. Still got some facial popping. Some expressions that just suddenly pop into other expressions. But not too bad.
They're so upset, and I know they feel guilty even though they didn't do anything.
What? I actually read a letter from your mom calling you evil, so yes, they did something.
Even Victoria wrote me a very sweet note, and I believe she was being real.
Me too. I'm glad you believe again, Kate.
I don't believe that she was being real, because she scrawled very bad things about you on the wall of the girls' changing rooms. So, I think that this is pretty well done, and I'm surprised how much effort they put into the scenery around here. I don't think any of this stuff could be reused. I think that some of it is Chloe's. I think that this bed is the same as Chloe's bed, just at a different set of angles. And that might be true of some of the other equipment as well, and that's reused from the bathrooms. But the majority of the content in here, like the cheerful balloons and stuff, I'm wondering how much of that is opportunistic, because it's possible that they used those because they needed those for the photos, the happy photos, in the alternate timeline, and they decided that they would go well here. It's interesting stuff at any rate.
Kate, it is so good to hang out with you again.
Now we can sit here and hang with Kate for as long as we would like,
I can tell you want to talk to me about something.
but we're not going to. We're going to try and push past it.
I want you to know I'm this close to getting all the info I need about Nathan.
Nathan Prescott has to pay for what he did, and we have to stop him from hurting anybody else.
Well, I did get his ass suspended, so that might be a start.
You did? Oh, right on, Max. I love how fearless you are. So what is going on with him now?
I assume he'll show up at the Vortex Club party tonight like nothing happened.
And nobody can do anything to him after what he did.
We're going to stop him. I just have to find
This
Nathan.
conversation is a little bit interesting when you know what's going to happen to Nathan.
Max, please let me help.
They do build Nathan up as the main villain, and you probably believe that all the way through your plotline.
Now it's time for Nathan to watch out for
So it's actually fairly well done. As twists go, the Nathan twist is better than the alternate reality twist. Unfortunately, the Nathan twist is also handled super heavy-handedly, which we'll talk about when we get there. It'll be a while.
I do. That's why I love you, Max. Thanks for taking care of my bunny. Tell Alice I'll see her soon.
Alice, a white rabbit named Alice. Very cute. Let's get back to the main game.
Well, how is she?
She's still Kate Marsh. Thank God.
I'm glad we came to see her.
Thanks for coming with me.
So although this is a scene that is
That little prick is not going to be
not a main scene, it's a side scene, and it's obviously slapped together a little bit, it is nice to see Chloe putting out a little bit of softness. However, she's going to turn real hard because she hates Nathan a lot, and we're on the hunt for him. For now, however, we're back at Blackwell, and there is chatting to do. Now, this rebalances us into the world as it used to be. This is the same sort of feel that we were getting out of the first episodes.
Hey,
And
Max. How you doing?
we got a conversation.
Hi,
I'll get
Mr.
back to that in a
Jefferson.
minute.
I'm okay. And this is my friend Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe. Why isn't somebody as cool as you going to Blackwell?
I was way too cool for this school. It's a long story. In actual files here.
It's not in actual
imagine.
files here. We stole those.
Max, are you sure that you're all right?
It's weird just being on campus like everything's normal.
I know, lame as it sounds, life has to go on.
I think there's too
Oh.
much going on in my life.
On that note, Blackwell duty calls. Remember, I'm going to announce the winner of the Everyday Heroes contest tonight at the party, so I hope you'll be there to celebrate, even though I'm sorry you didn't enter a photo. I understand your reasons. You can't force an artist to work.
I feel like a total loser, but it's been a hard week to focus. No pun intended.
I'm proud of you for caring so much about
So this conversation is primarily about pulling us back into the world of Blackwell, into the world of being a student, reestablishing normalcy. Except, of course, that we're not going to let ourselves get pulled back into normalcy. We're going to continue to fight against it. Now, in my opinion, I think that this situation, this scenario, would have worked very well as a more laid-back set of. Do not date him, Chloe.
Tonight.
Shut up.
Don't be jealous because Mark Jefferson thinks I'm cool.
I am so ignoring you.
Fine. Since I'm here, I'll see if I can get some dirt from Justin. Haven't talked to him in a while.
Now that is a great plan.
Getting back to normalcy here is something we're not going to let ourselves do, but I think the game might have been more powerful if it had been possible. In some ways, the episodic nature of this game is a serious drawback or a serious limitation, because it cannot be as optional and open-worldy. If you could imagine Blackwell campus as a place where you could return to, and it would be largely the same day to day, it's easy to see how this could have been very charming as another game. It still works perfectly fine within this game. It is interesting to see how Blackwell changes over time and how our relationship to it changes. But the setting is handled so well that it feels like you could spend weeks and weeks and weeks here at Blackwell and never feel like you are wasting your time.
I hope Max isn't pissed that Warren asked me to the drive-in.
Who are you talking to? And no, I'm not. You can have him.
Hey, Brooke. How are you?
I'm here as usual. By the way, thanks for helping Kate down. Are you okay?
Well,
I can't get my limited brain around that eclipse and the beached whales. I was hoping the science department had some ideas.
Warren and I are supposed to compare notes and theories this weekend.
This weekend's never gonna come.
That makes sense. 2 big brains are better than 1. Or mine.
We'd get the Nobel Prize if we could explain this phenomenon, but even Miss Grant has no clue.
Well, if you talk to Miss Grant, you'll find that she is,
I have to go.
really not very good at this kind of science. And I can't hold that against her, I guess.
I had to clear away another batch of dead birds today.
So there are lots of cute things you can do here. You could easily spend 20 or 30 minutes running around all the various places you can go, talking about all the things you can talk about. I don't care in the slightest, so we're not going to. Just keep in mind that they do spend a lot of effort putting you back into this game world, back into the normalcy of this situation, back into taking photographs of squirrels.
Max, I just figured out that my photos basically suck. I'm a wannabe artist.
You're not here to be a photographer. That's my gig. Look at that sketch you did of me. Incredible. And that's your art. Your gift.
I do feel better now. You are good, Max.
We want him to show up at the party so we can say goodbye. So let's go ahead and invite him.
Push me in the lockers, not dance floors.
That's exactly why you should go to that party. We have to stand up to these Blackwell bullies for Kate.
So at this point, the word bullies pops up a lot. For quite a while, we say bullies a lot. Just the word comes up over and over and over again. I think that this might have been written during a month when the Anti-Bullying Act was passed. And it was really hot at the time. People were really talking about the concept of school bullies. Hey, Chloe, let's go break into somebody's apartment. Bedroom.
Coast is clear. It would be so cool if you and me were going to school here together. But now you can have
Neither of you would ever get any work done.
Now let's get into Blackwell ninja mode.
You know, the more I look at it, the more impressive it is that she managed to dive past the overhangs. She has strong legs.
It's so lame they don't have co-ed dorms here.
Yes, because I want Nathan Prescott in the room next door.
Good point.
Wait here. Give me the signal if Nathan or anybody shows up.
I won't let you down, Batmax.
No.
Now I just have to find...
Unfortunately, that means that she's definitely going to let us down. Oh, that was weird. So, we have a lot of rooms that we can search and slates we can look at, but since we already asked Kate, Kate will just tell us what his room number is, and that is all we need to know. Now, Kate doesn't know we have magic psychic powers, so she's rightly worried about us.
Oh, Kate brings it. So, room 111 is the magic number.
This one here. I think that you can figure that out in various other ways, but we'll just... Wait. Why do they have the exact same poster that Chloe has above her desk? Chloe, why are you decorating your house with posters from the boys' dorm?
Because you care.
What? Can I hear something? I've never tried going in any of these wrong rooms or anything, but it's clear that I think that's Dana having a conversation with her boyfriend, which is nice. We've gotten so used to this. We're like, whatever. But, you know, I think we should probably rewind if we're given the option. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Now I need to find Nathan's phone. Or anything with clues.
So, once again, no phone. We are just here in the dark. And as before, we can see the things that we are supposed to be able to see at these extreme ranges. So, if you're going to make a scene where we're trying to hunt through the dark, or trying to hunt through someone's belongings illegally, it would be best if we had a feeling like we were getting close and we were searching. And the easiest way to do that is to simply not show these highlights until you get real close and are looking straight at them. Basically,
please
this
stay
glowy
away,
highlight,
Nathan.
this should be the moment when we get the look pop up. There shouldn't be a poster arrow or anything like that. It should be, oh, there's something I can look at. Because that would actually feel very natural. The ability for us to get real close and then see something, because then we would feel like we're focusing in. Anyway, we've got some stuff that we have to do.
That monochrome camera is brand new and cost about $6,000.
Let's see if Nathan's got anything on his computer.
Bastard. Now I remember why I hate you. And why Kate will get justice.
So this is as close as we ever come to seeing Kate's video. Obviously it doesn't actually exist. But it's interesting that this close-up, or this still shot, clearly does not show Kate. There's nobody here with Kate's haircut. Oh, scratch marks. There's what we needed.
What the hell are all those marks on the floor?
Now, this puzzle doesn't really make much sense. I don't know why he would tape his cell phone to the back of his couch. But it is a very satisfying puzzle. It's a very satisfying thing as a conclusion to the room. Moreover, it's handled pretty well in terms of how it's paced, because the scratch marks are on the floor. Introducing verticality means that you're probably going to notice them last when you start to actually look around. So that was a clever way to do it. That said, it's time for something stupid. It's always time for something stupid.
Damn, Max, you're finally back. I got worried. So, what did you find?
His room was clean and creepy.
It really wasn't clean. It was creepy, though.
Boom, Nathan. We got you by the balls, fucker.
Yeah, let's stand right here in front of the door. Oh, he found us. You know what? I should rewind. I should rewind.
You're such a nosy bitch, Max.
Stop right there, Nathan.
I should rewind. Well, I'll think about it some more. I guess I don't have to rewind. I mean,
I got this. Get the fuck out of my face.
I could rewind, but let's see what happens. I kind of like the idea of guys duking it out.
You are so fucking dead. Get off me,
I mean, we don't need to rewind, do we? Oh, it's so annoying when they don't use Max's power. It's clearly supposed to be useful, and then cutscenes take it away. Anyway, the choice here is to either stay out of it or stop Warren, and that's not actually what the choice is. Obviously, Warren does act differently if you let him beat the shit out of Nathan, but the real choice here is where the gun goes. The problem is that that's also a ruse. Letting Nathan keep the gun, or keeping the gun for yourself, has zero effect on the plot. The closest it comes to having an effect on the plot is if you lost the gun that you already have, you can replace it.
Warren, stop it! Come on.
Oh, my head. Why are y'all looking at me like that, huh?
It's a good thing we decided we weren't going to pick up the gun.
Let's go. Now.
That scene makes no sense on any level.
You're all fucked. He owns you.
Let's chase him
Even if
down.
Nathan definitely deserved a beating, we should try to be better than that.
Hey, I came to apologize. Hello? No? Okay. So I really don't like that scene. It's one of those scenes that's written with where it's obvious that our powers could have done so much more, and they just forced us not to use them so they could get a plot point out. That's kind of annoying, but at least it wasn't a stupid melodrama plot
That
point.
was intense. Warren, thank you so much.
For what?
So, the moment that you have to write a character out of the story on flimsy pretenses might seem like a rough moment to try and write or explain, but it's actually an opportunity for you to establish the rest of the character's bonds and goals as distinct from whatever useful character you were just facing. So don't think of these as iffy scenarios. Think of them as opportunities to really build your character, even though what you're really doing is keeping the party at 2.
That's cool. Whatever I can do to help.
What
Poor
you can do is
Warren.
find out anything you can about Nathan's father.
So this is where we start to get the Nathan's father plotline, and this is a really well done, or it's a good idea. It's not executed as well as it could be, because the plot twist is that Nathan considers someone else to be his father, but that's never hinted at. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. But the idea is good. The idea of sending us on a wild goose chase after his biological father could have been handled really, really well.
Down to Nathan.
It was a little scary to watch him do that.
Now let's make a date with Frank.
Will he even answer you?
Well, yeah, I've got his money.
Frank always answers when he wants money.
The Frank scene is one of my favorite scenes, but we don't have time for it in this episode, so it's gonna have to wait until the next episode. See you tomorrow.